interest in being here tell. This leaning of your head on your hand like that, this is classic. I am bored. I have no interest. It's a very, very clear nonverbal tell. If your significant other is doing this while you're talking to them, or your friend or your boss or anybody, they're done listening to you. They don't care to be there. So she's communicating that extremely clearly, which is just so baffling to me if she's really a victim. Why is she so uninterested in being there if she's the victim? But we're going to go ahead and keep watching, and then we'll start looking at like Johnny Depp stuff as well.
So you told him in that excerpt that you hit him with the door, not intend to hit him, correct? Did you say that?
I said whatever I said in that recording. I don't.
She just proved that she wasn't listening. Once again, an indicator that she doesn't care to be there. Not really an indicator of wanting to prove her innocence. Really more of an indicator of wanting to not be in a courtroom situation that might prove her guilt. I'm really not impressed with this. For the sake of study, we're going to continue to beat this dead horse. Let's go.
So on the tape, you tell Johnny Depp that you did mean to hit her.
Objection. Let's argue in a mistake.
And I don't think that actually happened. He complained that it was a real mushroom, and then he runs door over my nose, trying to get into it. I tried to push him out of it because what he hit is referred to. And Johnny, whenever he was into it, because it all was referred to it in his punching or clock or whatever. And whether you discuss it with him or not, the last thing.
A lot of defensive gestures there. People do that to defend or ward off or prevent something from hitting home. Everybody does it in some form or another. She's doing it here because I think she realized that she probably slipped up a little bit verbally. I bet you her lawyer's like, oh my God, stop. Just kill it there. Let's go.
In talking with him afterwards and trying to reconcile with him is to get into the definition of those words. So I never even addressed it. If he was ever supposed to get what he called it a cold walk. I mean, it's just very.
Isn't it true, Ms. Hurd, that in September of 2015, you punched Johnny Depp in the face with a closed fist?
Wow. What a pause. And it's interesting because we saw earlier that she's comfortable talking with her mouth full, but now she's not. What an interesting thing. Now she doesn't want to talk with her mouth full. Almost like there's a hard question and she has to think of a good response. And it's a poorly delivered response. She had all that time to think and it's still shit. Let's watch.
I hit Johnny one time when he...
No, you answer the question. Please stop whispering because it's distracting.
It's pretty... No, I was
No,
referring
these
to this,
two.
actually.
I can't hear them. I hear them. So please answer the question.
I can't answer. There is whispering. There is whispering in the room and I can't answer when they're whispering. Fuck off. Sorry.
Yes or no, did you ever punch Johnny Depp with a closed fist in the history of your relationship with Johnny?
Answer it however you feel you wish to.
One time, Johnny was hitting me, and he was hitting me hard and repeatedly, and I was screaming. Security walks in, and they don't do anything about it. And he makes this motion when Jerry Judge yells "Fox" or Sean, and all we had was a little bit of separation, and my sister runs down the stairs. We're on a landing in between two flights of stairs.
Ms. Hurd, I must interrupt you because I've asked you a yes
then
or no question.
Withdraw your question then because
Ms.
she's
Hurd,
answering.
prior to today's date, have you ever hit Johnny Depp?
Answer it however you wish. You've already asked, and she's already answered, and you interrupt.
Ooh. Okay, this is a frustrating thing for me. She asked, the lawyer asked, Amber didn't answer, And then her lawyer stepped in and complained for a little bit. And then the lawyer asked again, and Amber answered a different question. And then the lawyer asked again. This is 3 times of the same question. And then her lawyer bitched again, saying that she already answered that question. This is not good news for Amber. But let's go ahead and keep watching.
Ms. Heard, have you ever hit Johnny Depp prior to the event?
Richard Vegas at times.
Hey, everyone on this side of the room, please.
Election people, relevant to the message.
Thank you, Your Honor.
However you want to, including the way you were just.
I'm asking for a yes or no answer.
You don't have to answer it the way she wants you to answer
He was about to push my sister down the stairs. She was attempting to break us up. And kept her over my baby sister. And he laid hands on her. I don't know what I did, but I know I jumped in between the action that I saw lead to a fatal injury to my sister. She was standing on top of the flight of the stairs, and she has never hurt anyone in her life, and she was not deserve to be pushed down the flight of stairs. And it looked like she was about to be. And I would have done what anybody who has a child or a sister would have done. I acted defensively in her life. I saw her standing on top of the flight of the stairs and trying to interrupt a fight in between him and I. I don't know what part of my body I put in between me and him and her. But I would have done anything. I would have done anything to prevent her from being pushed down a flight of stairs.
Okay, interesting. In my opinion, that wasn't the case. Now, there's more footage to this, and I thought that it was on this specific tape, but apparently not. There's other parts of her recollecting some abuse from Johnny, and it's terribly delivered. There's way too much thinking. There's incongruencies in the delivery, the story, everything, to where it's been pretty well shown that it's not true. So we're actually going to go ahead and move on to Johnny Depp's side of things so we can see kind of what his ordeal is, and then we're going to look at perhaps some of them together so we can see what that relationship dynamic really is like.
Basically, I had a pretty nasty injury.
Interesting here. Johnny does a lot of hesitations in his recalling of things, his recollection of things, which this could be, once again, because he's trying to recall or because he's trying to make up. Something that a lot of people have noticed, and I am noticing as well, which doesn't make sense. Either one, it's the duper's delight, or it's him trying to find a way to lighten a not very lighthearted story, is he does this little half smirk. Only part of his mouth is raised. It doesn't reach his eyes. It's not a genuine feeling, so I don't think it's duper's delight. It's probably more a forced emotion, but he does it a couple times. Let's go ahead and continue watching this.
That I actually, I had to protect her at the time. As I said, there was caught in the door, huge folding doors of his house. That wasn't the case at all. She smashed. She threw a vodka bottle at me, and my hand was resting on the marble of the bar like that. And the first bottle went past my ear, and the second one was a larger bottle, and she threw it about this thick. It smashed into the bar with this.
Oh, God damn it.
The tip of the finger was severed.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and stop this here because all the way throughout it, his body language is pretty genuine, from what I can tell. He's a very soft-spoken person, and this is actually common across all of his interviews, how he interacts with people. He's just very soft-spoken, a lot more mellow. So during this, his nonverbal communication stays constant to his baseline. The only part is that duper's delight that might show up, or forced positivity in a negative situation, which I think is more plausible. Now, something that's interesting verbally, these are the words that are being said in his recollection of things as opposed to Amber's recollection of things, is that during his recollections, he gives the crucial details to the story to be able to convey what happened, which is a sign of honesty. You communicate what needs to be communicated in order to understand what is happening. Amber, on the other hand, does something which a lot of deceitful people will do, in that she adds tons of extraneous details that don't need to be in there, which people would assume would be, oh, it's because she remembers it. It's so vivid. But that's not what actually happens. And we're going to go ahead and watch a clip of them together at some event, and you can see the body language of Amber as opposed to Johnny, and how they communicate, and the submissive gestures and body language from Johnny towards Amber, and how